Okay, Prof. Khori. Well, okay, to check the attendance, how about the fourth presenter? Okay, well, I'm sorry.
Yes.
We'll be back to. Okay, Prof. Okay, is it okay to start now?
Yeah. Can I make a presentation?
Sure, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Today I am going to present on behalf of the director, of my director, Dr. Yao Ping Liu, because he has an emergency illness. So the topic of speaking will be from his latest publication on Gaza, the latest battlefield of global anti-neocolonialism, hypothesizing the cause of the 2023 Israel-Hamas war. Okay.
Okay.
The war beginning, the damage caused. Provoked by a surprise coordinated assault by the Hamas-led Palestinian militant groups against Israel from Gaza on October 7, 2023. Israel-Hamas war has so far cost more than 10,000 lives, most of whom are innocent Palestinian children and women. The casualties also include the UN staff, journalists of multiple nationals, and medical personnel. How serious and how the world perceived. The world was asked to and then angered by the indiscriminate attacks toward the civilians from both sides, particularly Israel's brutality against the Palestinian civilian. The war is escalating and will unexpectedly last longer, with Israel's ground invasion into the already devastated North Gaza after more than 1 month of aerial bombardment by the Israeli Air Force. So how serious and how the world perceive? The long siege Gaza turned into a raging hell, where its more than 2 million residents are suffering various humanitarian crises. Sadly, neither the related parties nor international communities have offered agreeable solutions even for a temporary humanitarian breakthroughs. The world and regional observers published their theories about the cause of this war via multiple channels. However, mainly from geopolitical and ethnic religious conflict perspectives. U.S. and its reaction to this war. The present paper examines the vetoes the U.S. has cast in the UN Security Council in favor of Israel regarding the latter long-lasting conflict with Palestine, including the most recent one the U.S. used at the UN General Assembly to block the humanitarian breakthrough on October 26. It finds that either the series of military occupation or the settlement campaign Israel had carried out in Gaza, East Jerusalem, and the West Bank over the past decades were unexceptionally endorsed politically and aided militarily by the U.S. The argument of this paper argued that Israeli military and political operations in the Palestine territory are the manifestation of its long plot colonization over the entire region for greater Israel, and the U.S. is its predominant accomplice. Israel-Hamas war in the neutral view of disagreed nations by catching up with the dynamic global narrative about the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas. This paper surprisingly finds that the global South states, except India, commonly voted for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire, agreeing that the Israel military action in Gaza far exceeded its right of self-defense. They even did not follow the US and its allies to condemn Hamas as terrorists since the beginning of the war, believing the Hamas attack against Israel did not come from a vacuum. It seems that the global South countries, most of which have been colonized by European power at different times and levels, started bowing together to challenge the US hegemony in global politics, perhaps from earlier times. So the hypothesis of this paper, assuming that the Hamas leader saw and failed this global trend, this paper hypothesized that the October 7th attacks against Israel are the Palestinian latest military endeavor rebelling against Israel neo-colonialism. They might follow the example of the Nigerian military coup leaders who eventually drove out the French neo-colonial. The future prediction on this Israel-Hamas war. The paper also predicts that the 2023 Israel-Hamas war will last, if not year, at least several months, due to the hardliner Israeli cabinet's wartime mindset, either victory or defeat, and the seemingly unstoppable military support to them from the US. So any question or comment, please?
Okay, Bapak Ibu ada pertanyaan. Is there any questions or comment related with Israel and Hamas? Okay, Doctor, how exactly Thai government positions in this war? Is it supporting Hamas, supporting Israel, or neutral?
Right now, it seems like we are neutral because we are always follow the US, but we also have several of our laborer working in Israel, and we are like we cannot make a judgment to be in other side. We know that Israel is not right to attack Hamas, but you know we cannot fight with US anyway. US is quite big and it's quite very influential country. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So exactly there is no choice for the Thai government that to support. Actually, maybe from their heart they want to support Hamas or Palestinians, but
yes.
In the position of geopolitics, it is quite impossible because America, who support Israel, is so strong and have a great influence.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, Bapak Ibu, is there any other questions? Okay, or do you have any addition, sir, to deliver? Excuse me, hello, Mr. Kachai Ratkin?
Yeah, no, I don't have anything.
Okay, you don't have any addition. Okay, maybe one last question. So actually, you in the paper is predicted or hypothesized that it may be years. How many years in the prediction of the paper? Is it like 5 years or less than 5 years?
I wish it will end very soon. I hope it will end very soon because no one like war, you know.
Yeah, okay.
And having war is not good for anybody, for anyone. Yeah. Hope it will not longer than 1 or 2 years.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for Mr. Ratchatai Ratikin as the Vice Director of Institute of Science, Innovation and Culture at Raja Mangala University of Technology, Krungthep, Thailand. Please give a applause for Mr. Chachai Rakrim. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Hopefully you can visit Unisma soon again, yeah? Okay. And we can continue our collaboration. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to check. Hello, Prof. Tatiana. Can you listen our voice from Unisma? Okay, excuse me, Prof. Tatiana? Yes, okay. Okay, is it possible if you start your presentation right now?
Добрый день, уважаемые участники конференции, добрый день, уважаемый ведущий. Приношу свои извинения за технические неполадки, которые были перед этим. Надеюсь, что в дальнейшем мы исправим эту ситуацию и обсудим, на мой взгляд, крайне важный вопрос.
Good morning, dear colleagues. Good morning, organizers. We're sorry for some technical inconveniences. We hope that everything will be okay in the future and we'll discuss the important topics.
Okay, good morning, Prof. It's an honor to have you in this great international conference.
Сегодняшнее мое выступление посвящено крайне важному процессу инвестирования. И хотелось бы представить несколько актуальных вопросов развития инвестиционного движения, которое происходит сегодня в России.
My presentation is about a very important topic about investment processes, and I would like to explain about some really relevant problems.
Итак, каждое прогрессивное государство стремится создать эффективный механизм правового регулирования, который с помощью правовых средств позволил бы достичь высоких целей законности, правопорядка, высокого уровня правовой культуры всего общества и каждого человека.
Every progressive state strives to create an effective mechanism of legal regulation, which with the help of legal means would allow achieving higher goals. Justice, lawfulness, and order, a high level of law culture of the whole society and each person on their own. Achieving these goals serves not only to ensure human and civil rights and freedoms, but also to stimulate the economy.
Достижение этих целей служит не только обеспечению прав свобод человека и гражданина, но и активизации экономики.
Yeah, achieving these goals serves not only to ensure human and civil rights and freedoms, but also to stimulate the economy.
В то же время следует отметить, что механизм правового регулирования не может быть случайным. Систематизация правовых мер, действий приводит к формированию государственной политики в той или иной сфере.
Да, вам нужно слайд перелистнуть.
Давайте, говорите на все звуки.
А откуда вы это сейчас прочитали?
Это второй. Это я не в слайде, это в тексте.
А вы мне его не кидали, ладно, хорошо.
Переводите.
Ну, еще раз скажите тогда, пожалуйста.
В то же время следует ответить, что механизм правового регулирования не может быть случайным. Систематизация правовых мер, действий приводит к формированию государственной политики в той или иной сфере.
It also needs to be noted that legal regulation can be done occasionally. There needs to be a system to achieve those goals.
Одним из важнейших направлений экономического развития государства является стимулирование инвестиционной деятельности, осуществляемой как отечественными, так и иностранными инвесторами.
One of the most important tools of the government to stimulate the economy is investment processes.
В России созданы все правовые условия для законного, продуктивного движения инвестиционного капитала в целях решения поставленных государством задач.
In Russia, there is everything to create a good environment for successful investment processes.
В настоящее время назрела необходимость перехода Российской Федерации на новый уровень социально-экономического развития, что обусловлено активным развитием цифровизации во всем мире.
Right now, Russia needs to step into the next step of social and economic development, which is because of the digitalization of the modern world.
В связи с этим была принята программа цифровизации экономики Российской Федерации в рамках стратегии развития информационного общества в Российской Федерации.
Right now, there is a national project going on, digital economy of Russia, which objective is to create a legal regulation of the digital economy.
Одним из ключевых направлений указанной программы является нормативное регулирование процессов, связанных с формированием и существованием цифровой экономики.
The main objective of this program is normalizing regulation of processes that are connected with the digitalization of economy.
Современные национальные цели и стратегические задачи развития России определены 12 национальными проектами осуществления научно-технологического и социально-экономического развития государства.
Right now, the goals of Russia are defined by 12 main projects that their objectives are to create a better environment, social and economic.
Среди целей выделяется необходимость реализации национального проекта «Цифровая экономика», одна из задач которых считается создание системы правового регулирования цифровой экономики, основанной на гибком переходе в каждой сфере деятельности.
The objective of national public digital economy is to create a system of legal regulation of the digital economy based on a flexible approach to each field of work.
Указанный национальный проект предполагает меры, направленные на создание устойчивой и безопасной информационно-телекоммуникационной инфраструктуры, обеспечение технических, материальных, экологических и иных необходимых условий, в том числе разработку нормативно-правового регулирования для широкого распространения цифровых технологий.
The measures of National Project Digital Economy are aimed at creating a stable and secure informational and telecommunication infrastructure. It is also aimed at providing technical, material, environmental, and other necessary conditions, including the development of regulatory and legal regulation for the widespread dissemination of digital technologies.
Именно такой подход позволит осуществить проникновение цифровизации в различные сферы экономики, в том числе в процедуру инвестирования.
This approach will help to carry out an extra insertion of digitalization in investment processes.
Для увеличения эффективной инвестиционной активности планируется создание новых и поддержание уже реализуемых инвестиционных проектов с привлечением средств частных инвесторов и снижением доли государства в экономике.
Можете повторить еще раз, пожалуйста?
Для увеличения эффективной инвестиционной активности планируется создание новых и поддержание уже реализуемых инвестиционных проектов с привлечением средств частных инвесторов и снижением доли государства в экономике.
For broadening the effectivity of this project, we need to realize other projects and also raising funds of private investor and government money.
Так, в 2020 году к реализации нацпроектов и комплексного плана развития магистральной инфраструктуры подключились крупнейшие частные компании.
So in 2022, for realization of some project, a comprehensive platform implementations of card, some really big companies took part.
Для привлечения дополнительных средств и заинтересованности потенциальных инвесторов Министерство финансов России подготовил новый инвестиционный законопроект, за счет которого предполагалось привлечь в экономику не менее 30 триллионов рублей инвестиций.
For attracting investors, the Ministry of Finance of Russia has came up with new investment projects that are predicted to get a lot of money this year.
Данный акт сыграл прогрессивную роль, с его принятия началась цифровизация инвестиционной деятельности в рамках государственной информационной системы капиталовложения, закрепленной в действующем законодательстве.
This act has played a progressive role in digitalization of Russian economy system in the framework of government.
Одной из задач программы «Цифровая экономика» Российской Федерации является создание системы правового регулирования цифровой экономики, основанной на гибком подходе в каждой сфере.
One of the objectives of digital economy is to create a system of legal regulation of the digital economy based on a flexible approach to each field of work.
Реализации этой задачи посвящен федеральный проект «Нормативное регулирование цифровой среды».
To this goal, the project of legal regulation of the digital economy, that's his main goal.
Цели данного проекта – это совершенствование правовой базы для развития цифровой экономики,
One of the project objectives is improvement of the legal framework for the development of the digital economy.
урегулирование сквозных для различных отраслей законодательства вопросов, связанных с электронным документооборотом, оборотом данных, в том числе персональных.
The other is settlement of cross-cutting issues for various branches of legislation related to electronic document management, data turnover, including personal data.
Определение порядка долговременного хранения электронных документов.
Determination of the order of long-term storage of electronic documents.
Принятие положения о национальной системе управления данными, о регуляторных песочницах, концепции регулирования искусственного интеллекта и робототехники и других нормативно-правовых актов.
The adoption of regulations on the national data management system, on regulatory sandboxes, the concept of regulating artificial intelligence and robotics and other regulatory legal acts.
Следует отметить, что для законодательства Российской Федерации термин «регуляторная песочница» новый.
It needs to be noticed that for Russian law system, the term regulatory sandboxes is relatively new.
В январе 2021 года вступил в силу закон об экспериментальных правовых режимах в сфере цифровых инноваций, который позволил тестировать новые продукты и технологии в условиях специального нормативного регулирования.
In January, the law of experimental regimes came into force that gave the opportunity to work further.
Стоит подчеркнуть, что перечень направлений, для которых могут устанавливаться экспериментальные правовые режимы в сфере цифровых инноваций, не является закрытым. Уже установлено, что к таким направлениям можно отнести следующие.
It needs to be said that experimental legal regimes list is still not closed. There could be added new things.
Медицинская, в том числе с применением телемедицинных технологий и фармацевтическая деятельность.
One of the regimes that are already known is medical, including the use of telemedicine technologies and pharmaceutical activities.
Проектирование, производство, эксплуатация транспортных средств, в том числе высокоавтоматизированных транспортных средств и беспилотных воздушных судов, предоставление транспортных и логических услуг и организация транспортного обслуживания.
design, manufacture, and operation of vehicles, including highly automated vehicles and unmanned aircraft, provision of transport and logistics services, organization of transport services.
Финансовый рынок,
Financial market,
предоставление государственных муниципальных услуг, осуществление контрольно-надзорной деятельности,
provision of state and municipal services, implementation of control and supervisory activities,
дистанционная продажа товаров, работ и услуг,
remote sale of goods, works, and services,
архитектурное проектирование, строительство, эксплуатация зданий и сооружений, капремонт, реконструкция, снос объектов капитального строительства,
architectural design, construction, operation of buildings and structures, overhaul, reconstruction, demolition of capital construction facilities,
промышленное производство и сельское хозяйство.
Industrial production, agricultural technology.
Следует отметить, что практика применения регуляторных песочниц действует во многих странах, таких как Соединенные Штаты Америки, Канада, Австралия.
It needs to be noticed that the system of regulatory sandboxes is used in many countries, such as United States, for example.
Для стимулирования инвестиционной активности также установлены дополнительные налоговые послабления.
To stimulate investment activity, there are also additional tax breaks.
Ну, во-первых, принят закон о защите и поощрении капиталовложений и развитии инвестиционной деятельности, в том числе предусматривающий предоставление соответствующим инвесторам базовой налоговой стабилизации по налогу на прибыль и имущественным налогам.
First, the law on the protection and promotion of capital investments and the development of investment activities has been adopted, granting the provision of basic tax stabilization for income tax and property tax to relevant investors.
Также предусмотрены в части совершенствования стимулирующих льгот по налогу на прибыль организаций.
Also, regarding the improvement of incentive benefits for corporate income tax.
В данном случае имеется в виду инвестиционный налоговый вычет, который распространен на участников, а также в отношении расходов на создание объектов инфраструктуры в рамках комплексного освоения территорий в целях строительства стандартного жилья.
The investment tax deduction is extended to the participants of the consolidating group of taxpayers, CGT, as well as to the cost of creating infrastructure facilities with a framework of integrated development of territories for the construction of standard housing.
Предоставлена возможность уменьшить налоговую базу на сумму расходов на создание объектов социальной инфраструктуры, безвозмездно передаваемых в государственную или муниципальную собственность.
It is possible to reduce the tax base by the amount of expenses for the creation of social infrastructure facilities that are donated to state of municipal ownership.
Упрощены условия применения пониженных ставок для участников региональных инвестиционных проектов.
Simplified conditions for the application of reduced rates for participants in regional investment projects.
Усовершенствованы условия деятельности участников СПИК, в том числе в части порядка налогообложения.
The conditions of activity of the special investment contract participants have been improved, including the terms of the taxation procedure.
Безусловно, принимаются и другие меры стимулирования, касающиеся совершенствования налогообложения и повышения привлекательной активности бизнеса.
Of course, other measures are also being taken in the field of stimulating investment, etc.
В настоящее время рассматриваются различные вопросы дополнительного стимулирования не только в налоговой, но и в иных сферах финансов для развития инвестиционной активности.
Right now, not only in the investment not only in tax field, but in other financial fields of Russia, we also take measures.
Следует также учитывать, что цифровизация позволяет упростить доступ заинтересованных лиц к инвестиционным проектам и урегулировать государственную систему управления инвестиционными процессами, а также упорядочить систему законодательства в данной сфере.
It needs to be noted that digitalization makes it possible to simplify the access to investment products for interested parties and regulate the state system of investment process management, as well as streamline the system of legislation in this area.
Таким образом, можно сделать вывод о том, что в России достигаются наилучшие условия для развития инвестиций.
So we can come to a conclusion that in Russia the best conditions for investment development are being achieved.
Большое спасибо за внимание. Я готова ответить на ваши вопросы.
Thank you for the attention. I'm ready to answer your questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Tatiana. A great, very great presentation. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question, you can just send to the chat box in the Zoom, or you may raise your hand here. Okay, Prof, the first question is, how does the federal projects legal regulations of digital environment in Russia incorporate the concept of sandbox to address issues related to electronic documents?
Как в России, так, одну секунду.
Yeah, how it issues related to electronic documents management, data turnover, and the regulation of artificial intelligence and robotics.
Как тот проект, который вы предложили с песочными часами, регулируется через электронику?
В России недавно принят законопроект, который предусматривает так называемые электронные площадки, через которые инвесторы могут заявлять свое желание внести те или иные средства в развитие проекта.
So right now with the project, there are created electronic platforms for investors to declare their wishes to invest.
Как вы сами понимаете, электронная площадка работает в рамках цифровизации.
And electronic platform is working in the framework of digitalization.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, it's a very great answer. Okay, hopefully we will have more discussions in the next International conference or our next sessions. Again and again, thank you so much for Prof. Tatiana Serebrekova, LLD, as the Dean of Faculty of Law and Management, Moscow City University, Samara, Russia. Please give a great applause for her. Thank you so much, Prof. Okay, see you. Hopefully you can visit us in Unisma, Indonesia. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we jump into the last session of this parallel, in this plenary sessions. It's my pleasure to introduce the distinguished professor, Professor Khori Husna Sofa Kardirovic, the Associate Professor and Dean of the Faculty of Economics, Politics and Tourism at Tashkent State University of Oriental Studies in Uzbekistan. Okay, he will present about perspective on modern business valuations for Professor Khori Husanov Kadirovic. The screen is yours. Okay, excuse me, Prof. We didn't cannot listen your voice. Can you unmute your Zoom, or you may try again?
Can you hear?
Sure. I can hear. We can hear in the room.
Now. Can you hear?
Yes, we can hear. And we can also see your PowerPoint.
I'm sorry. I have to switch video because connection problems. So
It's all right, Prof. It's all right, Prof. It's okay.
the topic is as you said, we're talking about perspectives on modern business relations. So, as you know, business relation is the subject of valuing business. So, there are many options of valuing. And the procedures used to estimate economic value of owners' interest in business. And now it's very actual problem, because the most actual problem here is to valuing business correctly. And there are many approaches of valuing business, as you know, because there are not only costs, accounting costs, but also economic costs that include opportunity cost. So, to approach this, we must include these problems too. So, what are main directions in modern valuation business? We think that in modern business valuation, there should be included several factors, and we are now going to introduce some factors as globalization, special economic zones, SEAs, and digitalization and IA, outsourcing, new financial technologies, global and local indexations, and green economic. To speak about globalization, it's very obvious, because to extent there has been the globalization, financing globalization, as you
Excuse me, Prof. Excuse me, Prof. We once more we cannot listen your voice again.
can you hear?
Yeah. Now we can hear again.
Sorry. So globalization is very obvious. We have seen in the times of financial crisis in 2008, as you know, and other crises there was since 20th century. We remember very much dot-com crisis. All this affected business, not globally, but locally. So business valuation, this means right direction to the business valuation, as you understand. And the other problems in globalization are the issues with currency, the issues with stocks and capital flows. As you know, recently they are very strongly flowing, and every business has connection, direction, and indirectly with these processes, as you know. So globalization is obvious. Talking about special economic zones, as you can see, year by year they are very increasing very much rapidly. So, for instance, in 1975, there were only in 29 countries, and the number of special economic zones were 79. But by now, as you can see, we have no data in 2023, but in 2019, the number of them are nearly to 6,000, as you see. How they attract business valuation? Many businesses do connection with They produce in special economic zones. So they have very good connection, and there should be some approach to account them in accounting or other business valuation procedures. To say about this digitalization. So digitalization gives firstly calculation facilities. Now we can estimate any assets with any number of assets, as you know, any securities. Digitalization gives access to information. Now you can, by the internet, track any price of global financial markets, as you know, and parameter estimation. By parameter estimation, we mean, for example, as you see this in this slide, as you know, while calculating valuing assets, we mostly deal with two parameters. The expected value and risk. And there are other options, parameters also, as liquidity, as you know, and non-market risks, but most of them are estimated by, as you know, weighted averages. And by the digital facilities, now we can measure not only estimates, but we can accurately approach the real values of mean and portfolio risk. As you see in this picture, as you know, in Marquis model of portfolio measurement, portfolio theory, the main idea is finding such a market portfolio where risk and expected returns are distributed very optimally. Yes, and in modern days we estimate by indexes such as S&P 500 and other Nasdaq indices. But modern facilities, I think, will allow to estimate them very accurately market portfolio, because computerized facilities allow us to deal with any number of assets, any number of parameters, such as find normal distributions and other log normal distributions, and so on. And this is the problem of, as you see, a nonlinear approach. It allows us to approach not linearized problems, but non-linearly. And what the digitalization allows us is market efficiency. Market efficiency is, as you know, the kind of financial market where businesses' shares are allowed to buy in any kind. So there is no unpredictable in financial market. So business are also may value this very accuracy. And another thing is goodwill. You know, goodwill is such a value in business, non-tangible, as you know, not some problems with English, non-tangible goods, value of business. So in traditional, there were problems of measuring goodwill. For example, any business that is located in center, given goodwill, very goodwill, because it's very convenient to reach this business. But now digitalization allows us to give goodwill, even this business not allowed in the center. For example, if this business is very good informated and people informated about this business by networks, they can find it anywhere. They can connect with this business anywhere, as social medias. And in this sense, goodwill can be measured by the followers, for example, businesses. So this is digitalization. Another thing, outsourcing. Outsourcing, nowadays all business use these facilities because they don't produce the whole product, but they are producing many things. And another second degree business processes are outsourced, as you know. But this should be included in business evaluation. Why? Because, for example, there may be some problems with supply, outsourced semiconductors, for example. And by valuing this, by valuing whole business, I think there should be some kind of approach to value not only business, but their outsourcing partners and outsourced some kinds of semiconductors, parts of their product.
Excuse me, Prof, you have 5 more minutes for the presentation.
Okay. So there are many companies, as you know. This means that outsourcing market is getting very, very big. There are main 15 partners there, and you can see the evaluation, market capitalization. So outsourcing deals very big with businesses nowadays. So another thing is new financial technologies. Now portfolio management is getting very hard because we deal not only bonds, shares, traditional derivatives, but there's also sub-portfolios, so-called, and they include not only bond shares and such tranches, currencies, derivatives, and they're all mixed in one asset. We call that securitization, as you know, and portfolios now. If you buy any, for example, asset, they may include not only asset of this company, but also asset of other investors. So nowadays, financial technologies, financial engineering affects business valuation as well. And finally, there is indices. So much indices there used to be very few in 20th centuries, as you know, but nowadays we have many local indices, and not only indices of stock markets, but also indices of investment banks. They also affect any business valuation portfolios, and while valuing any business, especially big business, large businesses, there should be included also there should be approach of estimating indices. And nowadays, and finally, green economy is getting very actual nowadays, as you know. In economy, we call this externalities, positive and negative externalities. So any business may affect or positively or negatively. So how can this affect businesses? When dealing with production, if green production may raise the goodwill, as you see. So what we are going to say is we should, in conclusion, there should be approach. There should be approach to value business by multifactorial models that include these types: globalization, green economy, indices. They should be included in once, and there may be other values also. Thank you very much.
Okay, Prof. With pleasure. Thank you so much for a great talk. Please give a great applause for Professor Husanov Khori Hadirov. Okay, well, Prof, we have one question for your presentations. So the question is, in the context of uncertainty in international financial market, can you provide examples of how businesses might adapt their production and investment decision-making strategies to navigate this uncertainty, and how it influences the valuation of assets and overall business management?
Well, I'll try to answer. Uncertainties, as you know, there are main uncertainties, two kinds of uncertainties. Uncertainty of business, of assets, some assets, yes, particular asset, and uncertainty related to market risks, bull market. And now when markets are globalized, uncertainty, we call this war or variation or, for example, deviations, yes, in while measuring. Deviation should include many diversified options. Well, I think while measuring, there should be some kind of approach to measure standard deviation or this uncertainty as a measurement by facilities, good facilities to approach not estimated but very accurately.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Okay, so maybe we have to also define the uncertainty before we decide what kind of things that we have to mitigate or adapt the production and investment decision making. Thank you so much, Prof, for a good presentation. Actually, we want to have more discussion, of course, in the future. We will so welcome. It's an honor if you also come offline to Unisma, Indonesia. And hopefully,
yes.
Many of our lecturers can also visit your university. Thank you so much again for Professor Kusanov Khori Kadirovic, Dean of Faculty of Economics, Politics and Tourism of the East, Tashkent State University of Oriental Study, Uzbekistan. Please give a great applause for him. Thank you so much, Professor. Well, because this is the end of the presentation, I will give it back to the Master of Ceremony. For Dr. Imam, is time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Assistant Professor Ervan, for moderating the session, the last plenary session this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to have a closing ceremony this afternoon, because we already have all four keynote presenters presenting their keynote presentation from Turkey, from Russia, from Uzbekistan, and the last is from Thailand. And now we have a closing ceremony. To start our closing ceremony, let's recite Surat Al-Fatiha together. Ala hadinna ala kulli nadin salihah Al-Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin, Ar-Rahmanirrahim, Maliki Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Ladies and gentlemen, to close our international conference on multidisciplinary sciences for humanity 2023, I would like to invite Rector of University of Islam Malang, which will be represented by Vice Rector for Academic and Cooperation Affairs. I would like to invite Professor Junaidi, MPD, PhD, to provide a closing remark for this third ICOMSH 2023 hosted by University of Islam Malang. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Professor Junaidi with a round of applause.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya wal mursalin sayyidina wa maulana Muhammadin. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali sayyidina Muhammad, amma ba'd. The Honorable Rector of Universitas Islam Malang, Bapak Profesor Dr. Haji Maskur MSI, the respectable Vice Rectors, Deans, Vice Deans, Heads of Departments at Unisma, the respectable plenary speakers, parallel speakers, and participants, the dear students of Unisma who joined this conference, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let's thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty, who has granted us with His blessing and mercy so that we can follow to this prestigious international conference until the end of the program. Secondly, salawat and salam should go to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has guided us with ad-dinul Islam. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's International Conference on Multidisciplinary Sciences for Humanity, we call it ICOMSH for short, is the third one carried out by Unisma. This conference is held in order to create a forum for academicians, professionals, and researchers to share their knowledge and expertise and to present their research findings related to their own field of study. For this third conference, the topics are specified for social sciences, including teacher training and education, Islamic studies and religious education, administrative sciences, economics and business, law, and any other branches of social studies. I'm very happy to inform you that there are 44 selected papers presented and discussed in this year's ICOMSH conference, with presenters coming from 8 countries, including Indonesia, Australia, South Korea, Malaysia, Turkey, Russia, Uzbekistan, and Thailand. Ladies and gentlemen, then, on behalf of the committee, I would like to thank the Rector of Unisma, who has provided us with everything we need to succeed this academic event. I would also like to express my high gratitude and appreciation to the plenary speakers of the afternoon sessions, including Dr. Nestin Unlu, from the Faculty of Theology of Marmara University in Turkey, Professor Tatiana Serebriakova from the Faculty of Law and Management, Moscow City University, Samara, Russia, and then Professor Hori Kusanov Kadirovic, Faculty of Economics, Politics, and Tourism of the East, Tashkent State University of Oriental Studies, Uzbekistan, and Chetchai Ratkin, PhD, from the Institute of Science, Innovation and Culture, Raja Mangala University of Krungthep, Thailand. The sharing of your knowledge and expertise is very much appreciated, and you have contributed a lot to the development of science and technology for humanity. I would also like to thank the parallel speakers coming from all over Indonesia and abroad, who has who have contributed their research findings, their knowledge to all of us, the participants of the conference. Last but not least, I would like to thank the committee who have been trying hard days and nights to prepare everything for the success of the conference. Of course, I would also like to thank the moderators of both plenary and parallel sessions who have led the sessions so that everything was running well. Finally, I do hope that this conference leave you with a good impressions for developing our professionalisms in our own field of study. I wish you all the best and see you in the next year's ICOMSH conference. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much, Professor Junaidi, for giving a closing remark for this third ICOMSH 2023 hosted by University of Islam Malang. Bapak Ibu, ladies and gentlemen, please give another round of applause to all of the committee and participants for the successful of this ICOMSH 2023, and see you again in our next year conference, the fourth ICOMSH 2024. On behalf of the committee, we would like to thank you so much for the participation of participants and also presenters who have been attending the plenary and parallel sessions from this morning until this afternoon, Jakarta, Western Indonesia time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Let's close our closing ceremony this afternoon by reciting Surat Al-Asr together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal asri innal insana lafi khusrin illa alladhina amanu wa amilus solihati wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. Thank you. That's all from me. And very good afternoon. And wallahul muwaffiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you next year, 2024. Bye-bye.
Oke, terima kasih Bapak Ibu. Alhamdulillah lancar.
Bapak Ibu, monggo untuk foto session bersama, bisa berfoto di depan bersama dengan Prof. Jun apabila ini. Bapak Ibu dari tim panitia, dari moderator, bisa have a photo group session. Pak Sony.